Hey everyone, so today's video is going to be about affordable products. All of these products are going to be $10 or under, so we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump in. The first product that I'm going to use is going to be this face primer from Wet n Wild. I will be listing the prices on the screen right here, just because I don't know them off the back of my hand and I want to make sure I got the right prices for you all. So this is mainly going to go on my T-zone. That's where I get the oiliest. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that. I'm also going to go in with some of this NYX setting spray. It's a primer spray, setting spray. You can use it for whatever. It just adds a little bit more of hydration to the face. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some of this. Alrighty, so for foundation, we're going to be using this Maybelline Matte and Poreless Foundation. I have two shades here. This is shade 120 and 112. I like to mix them just to get the perfect combination. It's so funny because as I do my makeup, I go ahead and put everything back in place where I grab it. So everything is neat and organized, and at the end of my makeup, I don't have a hot mess on my vanity. I love making sure that I'm putting everything away as I go. Does anybody else do that? Or is it just me? So I'm going to go ahead and buff it out with a brush, and then I'm going to go in and just press it in with a sponge to make sure it's all equally blended. So yes, buffing it out with the brush is going to help you make sure you get the most coverage out of the foundation. And then pressing it in with a sponge is going to help you just give you that more flawless look, really pressed in and more airbrushed. And that way you can make sure you don't have any strikes on your face or any lines and stuff. So we're going to go ahead and blend. Alrighty, so for concealer, I'm going to use this Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. This is in shade C1. So I really like the applicator. I am using natural light, so hopefully it doesn't get too dark in here. If not, I will turn on my, if it does get too dark, I will turn on my ring light. Just applying that on the high points of my face. And then again, I'm going in with a sponge to blend that out. So for a little bit of contour, we're going to go in with this makeup stick by Wet n Wild. This is Oaks on You. So yeah. I don't like going in too heavy-handed with this because it can tend to look a little bit muddy. So always go in with a light hand, and then you can always apply if you feel like you need more. And then again, going in with my sponge just to blend it in. Okay, so after we have applied our creams, I'm going to go back in with my sponge and make sure I don't have any creasing, and then I'm going to set it with setting powder. So this is the famous Airspun setting powder, super affordable, and you get so much product. I have had this forever and I still have tons of product left. So such a good setting powder to work with, and it's also so affordable. So I'm going to go ahead and take this dampened beauty sponge and I'm going to just dip it in my powder and set my whole face. I really like this technique with the dampened beauty sponge because I really feel like it helps you press in the powder and you end up looking not that powdery. So I've always done it like this. With applying makeup, I've learned that there's a lot of tapping instead of swiping. So tapping is really going to help you press the product into your skin. Swiping is pretty much going to just move everything around. Alright, so with my eyebrows, I really don't do much to them. I'm just gonna grab a spoolie and just brush them out real quick. Make sure that there's no crazy powder on there. So yeah, my eyebrows are already pretty much filled in. Thank goodness I don't have to waste that much time on them. And then I will go in with this Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Voluminizer just to make sure I set them and there's no powder because of when we set our face. So I'll just set them real quick. Okay, so face is done. We are going to move into the eyes. For the eyes, I have this cute little palette from Wet n Wild. I think they have like 3 or 4 different ones, so they're really affordable, and I've heard that the quality is really good. I have yet to try it, so I'm gonna try it on here with you all first. So this one has some warm tones, it has some transition colors, a little bit of color in there, so let's see how it works. I'm gonna take this kind of bone color and just apply it all over my lid. It's gonna help me set my lid again. Even though we set it with powder, it has a little bit of color, so it'll help with my transition color. So I'm not sure what look I'm going for. It's probably gonna be a warm tone just because it's the first time trying it out and I wanna go with something safe. Wow, that's a lot of product that came off on the brush. So I'm taking that darker transition color and applying it again in my crease, kind of all over my lid. So let me tap some of that off. And we're gonna, holy crap. You can see that? All right, Wet n Wild. It's so crazy that there's some eyeshadows that are like drugstore or more affordable that work better than high-end products. So if you really take the time to, do your research and look at different products coming out and trying them out, you can find a lot of hidden gems and save money. So who doesn't want to save money? I know I do. So I'm gonna go into this kind of orangey shade right here and just add that more into my crease, giving it a little bit more life. I am barely tapping in there. There is a little bit of kickback, so just an FYI, but I don't really mind it as long as the eyeshadows blend and work. A lot of times you'll have so much fallout and it won't stay on the eyes, so that's when you run into an issue. So I think I'm gonna go in with this super dark brown color right here and just deepen up my outer crease part just to give my eyes some dimension. I'm barely tapping, and look at all that color that's coming on the brush. So you always want to tap the excess and then slowly build the color up. I'd rather do that than have a huge and then you can't fix it later. I'm not even trying, and I just noticed it's kind of Halloween colors, so kind of like dark brown, almost black and orange. So I did that. I'm gonna take my brush that I applied this orange color with without picking up any excess product and just kind of blend everything together so there's no harsh lines. So now I think I want to go in there with a shimmer. So let's see. I think I'm going to go ahead and apply the goldish one. Let's find a cute little brush to do that with. So I'm going to go ahead and take this little brush that I got in my BoxyCharm and apply this gold shimmery shadow in my inner eye. I always go in with some setting spray when applying shimmery shadows. Let's see how it looks without, and then we'll go in and add some if it needs it. So I'm not mad at the color, but I am going to apply some setting spray just to intensify that look. And you can use any setting spray for this. I'm practicing adding shadow with my left hand because my right hand gets in the way of my So now I'm going to take my brush that I applied the dark eyeshadow with without adding any extra product and kind of just blend those two lines, kind of just to diffuse everything. Make sure we don't have any harsh lines. There's a tiny bit amount of fallout in my actual eyes, or underneath my eyes. So I'm just going to dust that away with a little brush. So let's move on to the lower lash line. I'm not gonna do a winged liner, one, because I'm not good at them, two, because I don't think the look needs it, and we are just trying out the quality of the shadow. So let's go ahead and continue. For my under eye, I'm gonna take the same colors that I took for my top underneath the glitter colors. So I'm gonna take the bone color, this color, a little bit of that orange, and then we might do a little bit of the brown. We're going to move on with the rest of the face. We're not going to worry about the inner corner highlight because I'm going to use my actual highlight for that part, since there's not a shimmery white shadow in here. But oh my god, this little palette. We're going to curl our lashes and add some mascara. My favorite mascara of all times is this Voluminous Lash Paradise. Look how it's wearing off because I use it so much. This is from L'Oreal. A lot of people were saying it's a dupe for the Better Than Sex mascara from Too Faced, which is like a third of the price, so that's crazy. This is a third of the price of the other one, of the Too Faced one. So now, alright, so the eyes are done, and we are going to move to the rest of the face. For a little bit of contouring, I'm going to use this Dulce de Leche contouring palette from Wet n Wild. Looks like this. These shades are super pigmented, so especially this deeper one. So go very light-handed and add as you need, trust me. Wet n Wild, we're killing it. So I'm going to take the tiniest amount on this brush, dust off the excess, and one. For bronzing, I don't have a bronzer that's under $10 right now. I'm sure there's a lot of different ones, but I don't have one on me. So I'm just gonna barely tap in there again and kind of just diffuse what I already got going on there. I think that contouring and bronzing, the lighter hand you are with it, the better and more natural it looks, instead of having the straight harsh line. So a little bit will go a long way. Plus, remember, we already added some cream contouring at the beginning, so you don't need too much. I'm gonna take this sponge and kind of just clean up my cheek area. And dust that off. Some people bake, I don't leave it there for long, so. Now we are going to add some blush. So for blush, I'm gonna take this Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. It is one of my favorites. It's so pretty. It's a really pretty peach kind of terracotta color. I love just the peachier ones, so I really enjoy this one. And I'm taking that on a blush brush from e.l.f. Notice how I don't just apply it on the apples of my cheeks, I will take it up a little bit more. I learned this technique from Christine Dominique. She's a really awesome famous YouTuber, and she says that she takes it all the way up to like her, almost to where her brow bone is, and where she applied the bronzing and contouring just to blend everything out together, and so there's no harsh lines. Blush is done. So before I apply my highlighter, I am going to set my face. Why? Because when you set your face and then go in with the highlighter, it's going to help intensify the highlighter. You're welcome. To set my face, I'm going to use my all-time favorite setting spray, which is this Make It Last by Milani. It is amazing. 1, it smells amazing. 2, it's $9.99, so right underneath that threshold. And 3, it makes your makeup last forever, and the spritzer is beautiful on here. So let's set away. Try not to move while you do this because you don't want to mess up your eye makeup. For highlighters, I'm going to take this Milani highlighter and this Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter. This one I like to kind of lay it first, and then I will apply this one. I always use this one first and then any other highlighter on top. I don't know, I feel like it makes a difference. It helps me intensify the highlighter, and I feel like it's a base for additional ones that I put on top, but it might just be me. So I'm going to take this little highlighting brush and highlight away. It just gives you the most prettiest glow. I love it. I love it. So lip color. So for this eye look, I'm having a little bit of hard time choosing which one would look good. I'm kind of going to go with just a nude lippy. So this one is from NYX. So yes, let's apply it. There's already some commotion going on with the eyes, so I don't want to take away from the eyes with adding a crazy lip, so that's why we just did a basic kind of nudish one. And I'm going to add a little bit of color on the waterline. I was going to go in with the black liner, but I'm going to go ahead and go in with this champagne color by Koki and just give my eyes some brightness on the lash line. Alright guys, so there we have it, products that are all underneath $10. If you are on a budget or just want to save some money and try out some amazing products, these are some of my go-to. I hope you guys had fun hanging out with me. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what your favorite products are, and I will see you soon on the next one. Bye!